So meditation means cultivation. We call it bhavana in Pali. And what we are cultivating is the mindfulness, right? Then we should know what mindfulness is, right? So the simple term for mindfulness is awareness. Awareness, right? Or attention, right? Or knowing in the most simplest way. Or awakening in matured way. So to cultivate this awakening or the awareness, we should know where we will have to pay the attention to, where we will have to maintain the awareness to, right? So awareness we usually take to three things. The three things are, it should be myself, it should be here, it should be now. So for these three things, if you bring the awareness, that is the mind. That is the awareness. We have general awareness to the outside world, right? But the awareness we are talking is the internal, right? So bring the attention to myself. We should know who am I, right? The definition of an animal or a human being is that it's a physical process, mental process, and the combination of the interaction of the two. So these are the three ingredients of any living being, right? So although we have these three ingredients, we know only one. The only thing we know is the body, the physical process. We don't know about the mental process, irrespective of how significant it is. We don't give a damn about it, and let alone the interconnection, right? So what we know is the physical process. So therefore, to bring the awareness of myself, we bring the awareness to the body, to the physical process. So to bring the awareness to the physical process, there are basically three methods. One is what they are doing now, walking, right? While walking, we bring the attention to the lower part of the body. And then you may have done the sitting practice. In the sitting practice, we bring the awareness to the upper part of the body. In that way, we bring the awareness to the whole body. So those are the two intense techniques, right? So in addition to these two, there is another practical application. That practical application is bringing your attention to the physical process while doing something, right? Say when you eat, you can bring your attention to the eating process. While drinking a tea, you can bring attention to the body and how it happens. And when you take a bath, when you take a shower, when you brush your teeth, and even in the toilet, you will be able to bring the attention to the body, right? So in that manner, we take this technique from walking and sitting to the day-to-day living. Then it becomes a game. It becomes a way of living, right? So now we will see how we do the walking practice. To do the walking practice, we select a path. And that path has to have at least 30 to 35 steps. That's the optimum. And if you don't have so many, you take whatever you have. I have walked even in 10 steps sometimes. So the first thing you do is, as I explained earlier, you stand and hold your hands by the side or folded in front or at the back, and eyes cast down about 1.5 meters or 2 meters ahead of you. And then once it is done, you may feel like you are in prison, right? So you relax yourself and have a smile on your face, right? And then give the command to walk. When you give the command to walk, you should know if you are bringing the attention to where to bring the attention to. Because walking is happening from the hip to the tip of the toes, and that takes the top part of the body forward, right? So where do you pay the attention is a big part. So therefore, for the beginners, we say bring the attention to the sole of the feet. By bringing the attention to the sole of the feet, I'm asking to observe two things to start with. Number one, how you place the foot. Number two, what sensation you feel when you place it. Right? So those are the two main things. So when you are able to pick those two information when you place it, and it is not necessary to tell to get the information when you lift. Right? You can see when you're lifting how it is happening and what happens to the sensation. So when you see that on one leg, naturally you can see on the other leg as well. So it becomes a continuation. So when you continuously do that, if you get any other information, then it's a bonus. Then your attention is gradually coming into walking. So many things are happening from the hip to the tip of the toes. So you will get those information. So in that manner, we bring our attention to the lower part of the body. But it is easier said than done. There will be a lot of disturbances coming. You know, the things that you will see may disturb you. Thoughts may be coming, and you may be hearing things. And if you have some aches and pains, those will spring up. So when these things are happening, it's very important for us to know what we do now. Right? So if you have observed some disturbance, the disturbance has already happened. Your attention has already come from the sole of the feet to the disturbance. Then in the second thought moment, you see whether you will be able to still Sukhi hotu කණ්ඩ දෙනවනේ දවල්ටනේ මේ එහෙම දුන්නාම නෑ කියලා හිතෙනවා කොටුවක් සරල when we have these disturbances in this second thought moment, you see whether you can still have your attention to the sole of the feet. If you can have the attention to the sole of the feet, well and good, you get the information, right? But if you can't, then you see this the next thought moment as well, whether you can bring the attention. And if you can't in that, and then you give another chance and see whether you can bring the attention to the sole of the feet. If you can't bring the attention to the sole of the feet at all, then what has happened is now has become the disturbance, not the walking. Here has become the disturbance, not the walking. And disturbance has become you. So here, now I am. All three is not walking now, but it is that disturbance. Right? So then you bring your awareness to that. Makes sense? So there are two ways. One, when the disturbance is there, you try to bring your attention to the sole of the feet. And if you can't, and if the disturbance is overwhelming, you get the information of the disturbance. So this is the most important thing in mindfulness. Most of the people, what they say is, having the attention to that particular place is fine. It is, but if it is not there, it is not the end of the world. Right? So there are a lot of reasons for it. I'm not going to discuss the reason. So that's how you do your walking mindfulness. Then sitting mindfulness, you sit in any comfortable posture. Ideal posture is the lotus posture. And you keep your spinal upright and eyes closed and hands on your lap in whatever comfortable posture, this way or this way or this way, whatever way. And then you bring your attention to the upper part of the body. And I usually have what you call a body scanning clip. So I play that. When I play that, you will be able to take your attention to the upper part of the body based on that, right? And then once the attention is taken to the body, usually you will feel the respiration. If you don't feel respiration and if something else is felt, doesn't matter, you keep your attention to that something else. But if you feel respiration, and again, respiration is something that starts from the nostril and it affects the whole body. So then the confusion is, where do I pay my attention? Right? Again, you pay the attention to prominent. It may be the nostril. Some people it is the chest. Some people it is the tummy. Some people it is inside the nose. No matter wherever it is, you pick one point and have your attention there. And having attention there, you observe those two things. What are the two things? Manner and the sensation. How is the in-breath happening? How is the out-breath happening? That's the manner. And when it happens, what sort of sensation you get, right? And then once you get those information, when the attention comes there, more and more additional information will start coming up. And when you do it over time, lot of other informations will come, and you get all those information. Again, there will have disturbances, and when you have disturbances, it will how you handle the disturbances will be those two techniques. What are the two techniques? No, those are the information that you gather. If you have a disturbance, what do you do? If you have a disturbance, you will have to ensure whether you can still have your attention to the main object, which is in this case the breath.
What is thought sometimes?
Yeah, that's a disturbance, right? So if those are the things, these thoughts or sounds, visions, or aches and pains will be the disturbances in walking. In sitting, we will have thoughts, we may have thoughts, we will have sounds, we may have aches and pains. These are disturbances. When the disturbances are there, your attention is not with the breath, right? But as soon as the disturbance comes, what you do is, in the second thought moment, you see whether you will be able to bring the attention to the breath. If you can bring the attention to the breath, in the case of sitting, if you can bring the attention to the walking, in the case of walking, then you have the attention. And if you can't do it in the second thought moment, you try it in the third thought. And if you can do it, then well and good. And even in the third moment you can't, you try it in the fourth moment. And if you realize that you can't bring the attention at all to the breath or to walking, then you get the information of the disturbance. It may be a thought, maybe a sound, maybe a vision in the case of walking, or it may be example. Because it is now, it is here, it is you. So awareness means awareness of here now I am. Right? So it's so simple, but our mind doesn't like it. Mind will bring millions and millions of reasons against it. So we will discuss those things and clarify those things. So these are the basic. This is what you will have to do. And another thing that I want to tell you is, sometimes when you walk straight away, you will not be able to bring your attention to the sole of the feet. So for that, we have a technique called naming or labeling. You walk, labeling, right, left. By doing that, what happens is, you bring your attention to walk. Once you bring your attention to walking, then only you start getting the information, manner and the sensation. Okay, so in breath and out breath as well, when it's happening, if you can't bring the attention to it and its mind is all over the place, you let the breath take place and label in breath, out breath, or in, out. So after some time, you will feel that you are with it. And then you gradually drop labeling and start observing the manner and the sensation. Make sense? Any questions?
Yes.
Good. Give it a try. And during the discussion, we'll have a discussion in the evening. We'll see what comes out with it. All right. Thank you very much. Zoom එකේ ඉන්න කාට හරි ප්‍රශ්නයක් අහන්න තියෙනවා. විනාඩියක් දෙන ප්‍රශ්නයක් තියෙනවා නම් අහන්න. එහෙම නැත්නම් මම අපි යනවා walking එකට. හොඳයි. එහෙනම් ප්‍රශ්න නැහැ කියලා මම උපකල්පනය කරනවා. අපි එහෙනම් විනාඩි 45ක් කියලා ගියේ. මම හිතන් තව විනාඩි 25ක් විතර තියෙනවා. විනාඩි 25ක් විතර අපි හම්බ වෙනවා පර්යන්කය සඳහා. සියලු දෙනාටම තෙරුවන් සරණයි.